What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here today, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today. But you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have another great episode here today. But before I start the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. All right, that is what we do. Let's see if anybody is on the check-in here just yet. Not just yet, but that's okay. That is okay. So, man, I'm so glad you guys can make it here on Transition Tuesdays. Again, like I mentioned last week, we are celebrating our 6th year in existence. 6 years in existence. And I couldn't do this without you. So I applaud you for being here today. I applaud you for always being here each and every Tuesday. And I applaud you for joining us here today. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Alrighty. So let's get after it as we see people going to be joining us shortly. And again, I apologize in advance to people when they're going to be coming in because I can only read it when people come in. I shout you out. A lot of times people are doing it at the same time, so sometimes I might miss people, but I'm going to gotta get everybody in today. All right? So let's get after it, guys. Let's transition. Let's talk about, man, the NFL Final 8, the Elite 8. But in football, the playoff teams are set. They are all set and ready to go. Man, so representing the NFC, okay, the National Football Conference. You got these games on Saturday and Sunday, okay? The first one, Saturday, Saturday, January 20th, okay? You got the number 7 Green Bay Packers who just demolished, mollywop, beat down the Dallas Cowboys. How about those Cowboys? Oh, my God. Did you guys see Stephen A. Smith and his rant that he always has with that look, those looks in those eyes? Oh, my God. Dallas, what are we doing? But give credit to the Green Bay Packers. Man, Jordan Love, all you need is love. Na, 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 na. I'm sure they was playing that in the stadium. Man, he is going to be taking on the number 1 ranked team, the San Francisco 49ers. Man, that's going to be a great game. And then Sunday on the NFC, January 21st, you have the number 4 number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, they just upset the Eagles. The Eagles, what is the deal, the Eagles? I think personally, and I hope my guy Chris Uncle Smoothie comes on board here. I hope he comes on because what happened to the Eagles? They were on a downslide decline as it is. I thought that coach get a little too cocky. But again, they just, man, went on a tailspin. I think they lost 5 of their 6 games, and it looked like they thought there was going to be another game. I mean, they made a game of it at the end, but they thought they was going to have another week to play again. They didn't act like it, and it showed. So they get beat down by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They will play the number 3 Detroit Lions. Man, what up, though? Man, I tell you what, my cousin Charlene, shout out to you, Charlene, in the D, who texted me. She said, you better cheer for my Detroit Lions. So I did cheer for everybody, for the Detroit Lions because I got plenty of family in the D. What up, though, again? And again, this is a good matchup, 3 versus 4. Okay, we're going to talk about, and I'll give you the results as well. But before I do that, just like to thank Deborah. Deborah is in the building. What's going on, Deborah? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Blessings to you, Transition family. As he says, blessings to you, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. So, representing the AFC, the American Football Conference, this Saturday, January 20th, you got the number 4 team, the Houston Texans. Oh, my God. I love this kid, C.J. Stroud. Man, this guy is like Oh man, he's just beyond his years. Looks like a very devout, faithful young man. Very respectful young man. I like that head coach, the rookie black coach. He is doing his thing as well. Man, they just upset an opponent. I forget, it's escaping me off my top of my head. Maybe somebody could just call and let me know, or could put in a comment and let me know. But listen, they had a major upset. But they are going against the #1 Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, who should be getting MVP this year. Maybe he might get his trophy then. I don't know how they do that in football, but in basketball they give it to you, like during the playoffs, stuff like that. But I'm not sure what they do in the NFL. But one thing I do know for sure is Lamar Jackson is going to get that MVP trophy this year. That is a given, and that should be a very good game. Then you have Sunday in the AFC. January 21st, you have the #3 Kansas City Chiefs. The #3 Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, man, Travis Kelsey. Oh my God, Taylor Swift. And did you see what Taylor Swift was doing when they was in that skybox? They was doing that, this and that and this. I don't know. Is it too much overkill? I don't know. But again, it's good for the NFL. I'm sure the ratings go up every time Taylor Swift is in the building. And I'm not knocking any Swifties out there. Not at all. But hey, they play against the #2, Buffalo Bills, who are circling the wagons. They are on fire. They are playing well. And this game is going to be, traditionally used to be at Kansas City. But now, this year, it's going to be at Buffalo. Again, it's going to be cold, smoke the whole nine, snow the whole nine. And it's we're going to see what Patrick Mahomes, because again, Patrick Mahomes is like that future GOAT that everybody's saying. But again, all those wins against the Bills and everything like that was at Arrowhead. Now he has to, add to his legacy if he can beat the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are really rocking. They rocking and rolling right now. Man, their quarterback is doing his thing as well. They are really doing it. So that's going to be a good game. We got Dolores on the check-in, a newbie on the check-in. What's going on, Dolores? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, Didi. Welcome. I'm glad you can make it. And first time. So I got to give you some soul claps for that. Okay, a first timer here on the show. Got to give you some hand claps for that. Thank you for joining us, Didi. Hope you enjoyed yourself thus far. So, yeah. These games are going to be colossal. So let me just go over my picks, okay? So for the Green Bay Packer game against the San Francisco 49ers, I got the 49ers winning that game. Got Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Lions. I can't go against my Detroit Lions. They're going to, I can't see, my family in Detroit, okay? I can't say it's my Lions, okay? And then you're going to have San Francisco versus the Lions. Oh my God. And I'm sure that game will be played in San Francisco. And sorry, D, but I got San Francisco winning that game and going to the Super Bowl. Next, we got the Texans versus the Ravens. I got the Ravens winning that. Even though Lamar Jackson has struggled in the playoffs and the Buffalo Ravens have struggled recently in the playoffs, but I got them winning this game against the upstart Houston Texans. And then the Kansas City Chiefs game against the Buffalo Ravens. I got Buffalo winning this game. I think they're going to figure it out this year. I think they're on a nice run, And again, the Chiefs are going to be away from Arrowhead. That's going to be really major for them. And so I got the Buffalo Bills versus the the Ravens versus the Bills. The Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. I got Buffalo winning that too. So, you got the 49ers versus Buffalo in the Super Bowl. I'm going to have to go with the complete team. And that's the San Francisco 49ers. I got them being Super Bowl champs. And I'll give you another bet. If you're a betting guy, you bet on things. I bet that the MVP of the Super Bowl between the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills will be Deebo Samuel. I think he will get MVP. Number 19. I think he will get MVP. And speaking of MVP, I got my guy, the host of the Pick and Pop podcast, man, talking about the MAC conference, who's the voice of the men's and women's team of Manhattan College, and the voice of ESPN as well. The one and only Uncle Smoothie is in the building. What's going on, Smooth? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. From Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer. Man, what's going on, Uncle Smoothie? So that's what I got. Book it. Maybe you can make some money. You know, I'm always here to assist. Again, I got the Buffalo Bills versus the 49ers. 49ers are Super Bowl champions. Deebo Samuel is the MVP, most valuable player, and he will be making that commercial. I'm going to Disney World. Book it. It's going to happen. All right? Book it, book it, book it. Oh, man. All right. So let's do this, guys, because I'm going to get you guys out of here soon. Because it's a big game tonight, too. If you guys are, if you guys are basketball fans, huge game tonight. Philadelphia 76ers versus the reigning champion Denver Nuggets. Now, we'll see. I'm an Embiid fan. But Embiid comes up a little short against the Joker. And he talks all that mess, we're going to see what the deal is. Man, and speaking of guys who get the job done and who was a problem out there in the Manhattan College streets, we got the man-child, my guy, Mr. Jason Benton, on the check-in. What's going on, JB? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you guys, nostalgic and you want to hear more about the man-child, Jason Benton, go back to our past episodes. I interviewed that young man. That guy's doing great things in Florida. Great things. Welcome, man. I'm glad you're here, JB. So Smooth says Sixers. Oh, hey, Smooth, we ain't going to let you get out of it that early because you just joined us, Smoothie. What about your Eagles? The Eagle has landed with a dud. What happened, Smooth? What happened with the tailspin? Smooth, I know you were in the know there. From Philly. Again, like I told you before, Smooth, that coach got a little cocky, okay? And he might be replaced. And you might get Belichick. That might be the prize for you guys. I don't think that guy's the answer personally. Just saying. And the other guy, Kelsey, the center, just retired today. Man, that podcast business must be doing well, too. He got the #1 podcast. I think one of them podcasts, him and his brother, Travis Kelsey as well. So, Smooth, you got some major problems there in Philly. The Eagle has landed. Let's see what Embiid's going to do. Got talking that mess. All right, you're going against the cat. Joker is the guy. Let's see what happens here. So let's transition to this, guys, really quick. Let's transition to the strength of brotherhood. I'm not sure if you guys saw my post, but I posted about this, and I really wanted to talk about this in depth today. So, guys, man, you got my guy Cameron and Mace, M-A$E. Now, talk about the strength of brotherhood, and I just want to go a little story about the backstory of these guys because it's so important. It's so important. And speaking of somebody important, we got Felicia checking in from The Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. And Chris says, before I continue the story, Chris says, we checked out early. Super disappointing. Philly ballers all day. Okay? All right, and I appreciate your candidness, man, Smoothie. Yeah, they did check out something was going on. They act like they had another game next week. If they lost this game, they could come back next week. That's the type of mentality it was. I don't know. I think the guy lost the locker room, man, early on. Maybe week. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he just lost it. I think he just lost the locker room. But what do I know? But that's what it looked like from the neck, from outside looking in. So, let's talk about that transition again, the strength of brotherhood, really quick. Cameron and Mace, okay? Now, if you guys were, me, I love music, as you guys know. I love hip-hop as well. Love all music, but I love hip-hop in particular, especially hip-hop in the 90s. And these guys, Cameron and Mace, they, at first, they formed a group called Children of the Corn, and it was with other rappers, too. But these guys have known each other, ever since, man, I would say grade school. They went to Manhattan Center together. A lot of people don't know that Mace played ball and Cameron played ball. These guys are very, very good. Both with the junior colleges and the whole nine. But Again, when the rap game came a calling, they just gave up ball on the strength of hip hop. So they had a falling out. So much so that they didn't speak to each other like for 15 years. And I think it was over something so minuscule. But they had a falling out. But what got them together was the podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game. And these guys are out in Philly, Smooth, so you know about these guys. You know, they're responsible for getting these two back together again on their podcast. And man, these hip hop icons are killing it in the game with their YouTube sports show called It Is What It Is. If you guys haven't seen this, you need to see this. They are rivaling all these other shows, the First Takes of the world, the Undisputed of this world, you know, the other shows on Fox Sports 1. They are putting up numbers, man. They putting up Will Smith numbers daily. You know, they on show every 6 days. You know, every show every 6 days. They are killing it. They are changing the game because they're just being themselves. And they, you know, who knew about Cameron's knowledge and Mason's knowledge and their humor? And the one thing I noticed about these guys with this Straight to Brotherhood, man, it look like they having fun. They just laughing all the time. So that's great to see these guys coming through, man. These Harlemite guys, you know. And I got a little fun fact. I don't know if you guys know, I'm from Harlem as well, too, you know. I'm born in Harlem. I was lived there till 9, and then I moved to Queens. But, you know, I'm from Douglas Projects, man. And, you know, I know what it is to be a Harlemite. You guys know all about my brother Ellis, who is the king of Harlem. You know, we had him on the show as well. But these guys are killing it. And this is all on the strength of Brotherhood. So this is always great to see, man. It is really great to see, and it just warms my heart. And again, if you haven't guys seen the show, check it out. It Is What It Is on YouTube, man. They got everybody on there. And again, their bond, their strength of Brotherhood, that's why the show works. That's why the show works. And I want to talk about two other guys who, you know, came together on the strength of Brotherhood. And that's Jalen Rose and Chris Webber. Man, I'm telling you, I saw pictures of this recently, this weekend. And, you know, these two-fifths of the Michigan Fab Five, they were seen together with the rest of the Fab Five, which consisted of Juwan Howard, who is now currently the head basketball coach at the University of Michigan, their alma mater. Ray Jackson, everybody knows him. Jimmy King, those two guys were unheralded. Those two guys really kind of tapered their game, man, so everybody else can shine. You know, and so they were all, number one, they all got together because they were at that national championship game, as the young kids call it, the Natty. You know, they were at the National Football Championship game where Michigan beat Washington, University of Washington. So they were all there. And then next, the Fab Five, man, they returned to Chrysler Arena. That's the arena in which, you know, University of Michigan plays their basketball games. But they were there at Chrysler Arena to root on the Michigan basketball team, coached by, again, Juwan Howard. And they played Ohio State. And the great thing about them seeing those guys all together, they haven't been in Chrysler Arena in 30 years. And I saw a nice banner that says, you know, we need to have those banners back. Because again, if you guys saw the document, the Fab Five, which was, in my opinion, that's ESPN's best 30 for 30 doc. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, it was so good. And those banners are still, you know, those two back-to-back losing efforts in the NCAA tournament. Those banners are relinquished in a vault, I believe, and not to be put up, you know. So I saw a sign that said, put those banners up for the University of Michigan and the Fab Five. I think they should do that. I think the time is now. You know, Chris Webber has pivoted totally, you know. I guess he, you know, because I think the biggest thing was if he just admitted some things, I believe it was, and then they welcome him in. Maybe he did that. I don't know. Maybe that's behind the scenes. But again, man, it was good to see those guys. And, you know, Chris Webber and Jalen Rose, they had a fallout after the Fab Five doc. I know it was one point in time in which it was a guy, Money Ed, I believe it was, that Jalen Rose was saying, yeah, man, this guy was giving us money. Hey, I got money to, take my Daryl's out for dates or pizza or something like that. And, he said everybody got that money, and Chris Webber denied it about this guy. But, and I think that caused a lot of dissension, a major fallout for years with these two guys, these two brothers, okay? But these two seem to patch up their differences recently, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I really do. I really absolutely love what's going on with these guys, and oh man, it's just great to see these guys get together on the strength of brotherhood, the strength of brotherhood. It's really good. So these transitional stories involve forgiveness. They involve patience. Okay, you talk about years have expired and elapsed in both cases. And most importantly, it involves love. Love for your fellow brother, love for your fellow sister, what have you. Okay, this is really good, man. And it's really an unbreakable bond of family getting back together, which involves the interwoven in the main component, which is love. And getting back together. Uniting. And, I just wanted to share, I'm just going to take a look and see if anybody else has joined us. And we got Gina from the NC from North Carolina joining us. What's going on, Sister Cuz? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As Gina hits the ground running, Gina says, funny thing, they led the way for the current NIL, what's it? Ideation, I believe it is. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it wrong. I know, you got these, heavy words on me there, Sister Cuz, Gina, Yeah, you're right. Hey, Gina, you are absolutely right. This group, the Fab Five, led the way for this current NIL explosion. Because again, I remember hearing the stories about Chris Webber, He used to get upset, and you knew he was leaving after his sophomore year, with that University of Michigan #4 jersey was in the bookstore, and it was selling off the charts, and he didn't get any portion of that. And here this guy, got to be asking for gas money, food money, and everything like that. Couldn't get anything, So this guy here, and again, that team, the Fab Five, was really the catalyst and really changed the culture of everything that it is NIL. Really did. Gina says, I heard you shouting everybody else out. I wasn't going to say nothing, though. No, I always shout y'all, Sister Cuz, and I'm glad that you're here. So shout out to you, Gina. Shout out to you. But, guys, I wanted to really talk about this. We talked about, bonds and family getting back together, involving love. And I want to share something really, really that touches me. And it's really, really personal for me is, getting back together and missing out on people and things. And I just want to share a story with you guys. And I want to be, really, really transparent here and talk to you about my, I have a youngest daughter who goes to LSU. And, I really get, it's really tough for me to talk about this. But, I just want to share this because it might help others out there. I have a daughter, my youngest daughter, who I haven't had a face-to-face conversation with well over 2.5 years. Face-to-face conversation. I know she goes to LSU. I don't even know what major she is, that she's doing studying in school. But it's really tough. And, I pray on it a lot, and, I was able to reconcile with my oldest daughter. We had some issues there going as well. And was able to reconcile with my oldest daughter. But my youngest daughter, again, it's just about trying to unite and getting back together. And I know things, love is the overwhelming vehicle that will get us together. And the biggest prayer I have for my daughter at this time, and I just owe it, my biggest prayer is I thank God in advance. I thank God in advance for continuing to protect my daughter and daughters for things seen and unseen. I just like to thank God for doing that. Thanking God in advance. And also thank God in advance for uniting us in His time. Because again, it's not in my time. I have to let God and let God and let go. And as Deborah says, keep praying. Yes, and I will keep praying on that. And I appreciate that, Deborah. You know what I mean? Because again, I put it out there. God knows my heart, and hopefully this plea that I'm talking about, will help. Will help others. Will help others. I was so, disheartened by this. Here I am. I reached out to an Angel Reese, who is the best player in the country, probably one of the best players in the country. She goes to LSU. I friended her on Instagram, on IG, just said, hey, look, you don't know me. I hate to bother you, but, I have a daughter who I hadn't been in major contact with. I just want to know about her whereabouts. And, hey, look, here's her name, and if you could just look after her, or if you could just relay the message that I'm always thinking about her. I love her with all my heart, and I just want to make sure that she's safe and secure. Unfortunately, Angel Reese didn't reach out to me because it kind of felt like a stalkish thing if I received something like that. But again, I was that much adamant about trying to find out the whereabouts, and that's what I did. So, if that helps somebody, on the strength of, reunion and getting back, with love, I just hope I help somebody here today. I really do. So Gina says, I have a brother who refused to acknowledge I'm alive. Wow. So I understand that I can only offer what I can offer. I just hope I'm here to be receptive. If a reconciliation ever happens, I love you. Yep. And I know exactly what you talk about, Gina. You know what I mean? And the great thing about that, Gina, though, the great thing we hope we get, sometimes your brother joins us on this program, and I know your brother, and I know your brother watches. So I hope this will be a nice, you guys getting together on this. So if you're out there, I won't put names out there, but if you're out there, you know who you are. Let's get this reconciling going, man. Okay? For sister cuz, because you're my brother cuz. All right? So let's get this done. If we can get it done, we can get this done. Now, I appreciate you, Gina, for sharing. Deborah says, my second oldest son wasn't talking to my husband, and when he died, my son is still going through it 7 years later. Yeah, thank you for sharing on that, Deborah. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like I always say, man, we're not promised tomorrow. We can never get back yesterday, but what we have is today. And again, we never want to live in regrets. You never want to live in regrets. So, thank you for sharing on that, Deborah. And again, I'm going to keep on reaching out, calling, text, I'm blocked on current social medias and everything like that, so with me in my case, but again, I'm just going to keep plugging around, and if anybody is hearing this, want to relay that message, to my daughter, I'm always thinking about you daily, I just want to see that to make sure that you're okay, and I just want to just make sure God continues to protect you, for things seen and unseen, okay, just want to do that. So thank you guys for sharing. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Yep. And I just wanted to share that with you guys and everybody out there, listening to us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we're able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. Us coming together, us having honest conversation. That's what I'm celebrating today. I'm celebrating the victory. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get to the theme music, shall we? Hey. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you watching the show each and every Tuesday. I want to thank you. Man, you can see this show and our past shows on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesday. So make sure you like and subscribe when you go, before you leave. Make sure you do that, okay? Make sure you do that. If you haven't been following me, you can follow me on Instagram or IG, as the young people call it. My title is, my handle is Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S. You follow me and I follow you back. Major shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, located in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. Okay, make sure you go and check those guys out, celebrating their 11th year in existence. Man, that's not nothing to sneeze at, my guys. Okay, guys and gals. Okay, so make sure you do that. Make sure, show's almost over, but make sure you go to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies. Your taste buds will thank you. Okay, and I thank you too for watching Transition Tuesdays. Appreciate you, Deborah. Thank you, Russ. You are appreciated, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we always say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless.